to the Cozy Conversations with Rim podcast. I hope you guys are having a good day. If not, hopefully I can make it better. It's pretty early that I'm filming this, but I'm so excited for today's episode. And just remember, before we get into anything, these are my opinions and how I feel. Me. Okay. First things first, what's in my cup? Today, I just have a little bit of tea. Mm, I don't mean to say it like that, like I got some tea, because I don't know if I'm gonna get into some tea, but I do have some tea in my cup. That's it. Yeah, I don't. We'll get into some things, but not necessarily any tea. This is not a how you doing situation. This is not that. For today's episode, we're gonna start off with a poem that I saw that I thought was perfect. I thought was like, I mean, hit the nail right on the head. So it's titled Social Media, and it reads, "It is something we crave. Can we do without? Have we become lost in the pixels on a screen? Each day we take snapshots of time. What have our lives become? We crave connection, yet lie on the couch. We swipe, scroll, and click, and forget those around us. Stop. Swipe the dust from the board games up on the shelf. Go camping with friends without internet. Ask someone you know rather than Google. We are slipping from reality, addicted to these rectangles of metal and electricity." And that's by Laura Kathleen. Laura, you was onto something when you wrote that, because we're gonna break that down. I get it to a certain extent, but I also don't get it. Now, I am definitely not a social media um person. Like, well, I'm not gonna say that, because I do enjoy seeing other people on social media. I just don't like posting my business on social media. And it could be that I know that when I'm on social media and I'm looking, just looking, I'll go down a rabbit hole. Like, I might see someone, especially when people like have kids or get engaged, and y'all know what I'm talking about. When somebody has a baby, and especially if they post and they don't post the dad, or you don't know if they have a boyfriend or whatever, you just go down a rabbit hole and you're like, okay, let's see who a baby daddy is. Oh wait, is she having a baby shower? She's having a baby shower by herself. What like, you going down a rabbit hole. So knowing that I do that, and I don't consider myself like a really nosy person, but I know if I do that, think about people that are actually nosy in your business. Trust me, everything that you post, they are watching. They probably got notifications on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay. But I can understand, Laura, with that aspect there. Like, hey, just like have some friends over, play board games, get away from social media. What I don't agree with is to ask someone you know instead of Google. I'm not doing that. Like, no. Even they might have an idea of what I need, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna Google it before I ask anybody. Why would I need to ask somebody I know? Just to have a conversation? Just so I can like check in? Maybe that's what she's trying to say. Probably so. Now that I think about it. Yeah, that's Laura. That's what Laura meant. Okay. Anyway, let's tap back into the whole social media thing. We're gonna talk about all different sites. Now, for me, I'm a TikTok girly through and through. That's my jam. And I think it is just because um, I don't have to like follow people I know. I mean, I know you have the page where the people you follow page where you can see what's going on, people you follow, and kind of, interact with them that way. But the For You page is so random, and it's what you make it. Like, if you like funny videos or cat videos or whatever you want to watch, that's what you're going to see. So it's all, I think, like positive. and just designed strictly for you. I think with Facebook, it's more so of, for me, um, I'm checking on my family, seeing what they're doing, like connecting with them. I'm not like active on Facebook a lot. I might go on there every now and then. It's somebody's birthday or something of that nature. I'll go on there and, say happy birthday and all that. Um, but Facebook is so messy. It's so messy all the time. There's somebody arguing or like something going viral about somebody being messy on there all the time. Now, Instagram, like they say on TikTok, on Instagram, you got to be rich because it's just a glorified reality over there. I don't even know if that's the correct term, but I feel like when you look on Instagram, everybody's just like doing it. I mean, like, we got the best careers, we got the best house, we got the best jobs, we got the best cars. That's what Instagram is. And I think that for people that I hang around, we're just kind of getting away from it. It's just not, it doesn't make you feel good. I've even tried following positive pages on there. I've tried following like inspirational pages, positive quotes, positive vibes, all those pages like that. And it's just, it doesn't do it for me anymore. I'm just not entertained. And I used to turn to Twitter before TikTok came about because Twitter is so it was so fun. Now Twitter it was getting a little wild. I'm not gonna lie. Like Twitter can be wild. And if you know, you know. You can't open that stuff up out in public. You can't be, out grocery shopping and think you just gonna check your Twitter feed. You never know on there. But when TikTok came about, y'all, I just said bye to all of them. And that's how I really go to sleep at night. Now, I did have to like pull myself back because I was spending way too much time on TikTok. I'm talking about like, because it's never ending, I would just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. Just keep going, keep going. And then I look at the time and 2 hours have gone by. And I look at the time and 3 hours have gone by. And it's just like, okay, you literally, I'm not going to say wasted 3 hours of your day, but pretty close. Like, yeah, you could have been doing something productive. You could have read a book. So that's kind of where I'm at with those social medias. Now, Pinterest is another thing. I don't know if I would really consider that in the same category though. Um, but I do really like Pinterest just because I like changing different like decor styles in my home, or like now planning my baby's first birthday party, or even like when I was planning the baby shower, like planning different things. I like to go in there and get ideas, or just create different boards. I know, like for Christmas, when we took Christmas pictures, I created a board on there just with options of different like outfits that I would have wanted for the Christmas photos. So that one is more like I guess it's a social site, but not that interactive. So I'm not gonna even put that in the same category. Um, but yeah, there's also something she said that got my attention here when she says, each day we take snapshots of time. What have our lives become? We crave connection, yet lie on the couch. I blame 2020. I feel like when 2020 hit and COVID came, we were all quarantined. Um, yeah, I feel like even people that weren't homebodies kind of got a little bit of introvert in them. I am an introvert, but when COVID hit, I think I became an extreme introvert. Like, I don't have to leave the house. I don't. I could literally, well, no, I don't even have to leave the grocery shop. I don't have to do anything. I can literally get everything I need delivered because I order everything anyway. I'm not a big like Uber Eats or DoorDash person. And I had a two bad experiences with that, so that's why I don't do that. But other than that, I don't have to leave the house. I can stay on the couch. Um, I will say I need to do better about taking pictures. I am not photogenic, and when I go on vacation and just travel or moments like that, I don't really take my phone out to record because I feel like that's taking time away for me to really sit there and take in that moment of me enjoying wherever I am in the moment. And I know that like the memories will be here, but now I see it differently because how am I going to show my child? Or like just I might, you can remember stuff in your head, but when it comes to 10 years down the road or even 2 years later, you don't remember everything you did on vacation. Like you're not going to remember that. So I'm trying to get more into capturing moments, but for myself, for my personal self. I just can't see myself posting on social media every day. I don't know how people do it, and kudos to you. I love watching content creators. I mean, I think that's honestly how, at this point, most of us figure out what to wear, recipes for sure, all those things. Like, but it's just not in me. I don't know. I don't know. I had one video. I don't even know if I should say this because if I talk about it, people might try to go look it up. I might need to delete it before I post this episode. I had this one video on Twitter. No, not on Twitter, on TikTok. I posted a video on TikTok, and honestly, it was literally like a combination of like 2 months or maybe 1 month because I was traveling for Thanksgiving and traveling for December. And I just take video. Well, I was taking videos in the car of me on the passenger seat trying to work. And my husband always like plays music loud, just singing, like singing his heart out. And I was recording it, but I was just saying how like man, I can't get any work done. Like, and I was being funny about just like, oh my God, like I'm irritated. I was just being funny about it. So I made this video, I posted on TikTok, and I was posting, like every couple of months on there. And I might get 30 likes, like maybe. I posted this video, and the next morning I woke up and I was like, wait a minute, what is going on? And I would see this person comment, and I would see a new comment, and I would see a new comment. And they were positive at first. They were like, they were funny. Like, oh my God, like that is so funny. And he's singing his heart out and blah, 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 blah. And then they started turning negative. And it was just like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's when I realized, I already knew the impact of social media, but that's when I realized, like, oh no, I do not want to be like social media famous. Like, I don't want to do that. It was some really nasty comments about me literally just sitting in the car, um, just recording myself like laughing. I think one of the clips I was like laughing at him. Different women and men. Like I remember one woman was like, you need to like drop her off and come pick me up because she's so ungrateful and blah blah blah. And I'm like, lady, this is probably a 1 minute clip over a month span. Relax. Relax. Like it's not that deep. So that right there, um, extremely turned me off from social media because like I said, I already wasn't. I'm not a social media person. And then y'all, believe it or not, I get on Instagram, and why the heck do I see a video that I posted on TikTok on a freaking page? I don't even know. I forgot what page it was, and I said, oh heck to the no. So I think I want to turn the comments off. Um, I don't think the comments were that bad on Instagram, but it was just like, wow, the trolls on social media. And I am someone who doesn't even post like that. I cannot imagine what it's like to be rich and famous and like look at those comments. And people don't understand, like, yeah, you're behind a computer and you're saying these things to people, but they are human too. Like, why? What think? Like, why do you think that you can say whatever you want to say about anybody, and then when they come and clap back, now you mad? Now you being bullied. Now they're mean. Now they're rude. Now everybody needs to stop buying their music. You didn't have that same energy when you felt the need to comment under our picture or zoom in on somebody's damn toes. Anyway, let's go to the second half of this poem because she talked about swipe the dust from the board games up on the shelf. Go camping with the friends without internet. And that's what she talked about, asking someone you know rather than Google. My favorite pastime now is hanging out with my friends. And I think that I kind of like went from, when you're in college, you hang out with your friends all the time because they're like right around the corner or like live next door. And, everybody's broke. Well, I'm not going to put that on everybody, but, you just got a little bit of change. So everybody just kind of like drinking cheap alcohol, you doing whatever, just having fun with your friends because they're all right there. But then when everybody graduates or whatever, you enter into adulthood and you're still going out with your friends, but it's not the same. It's not the same, but you're going out to places. Like at that point you're hanging out. You might be going to the club together or a lounge, wherever you want to go. Now in my life, I get so happy when it's like a Tuesday night. Like literally this past Sunday, not all of my friends, but a good amount of the friends was like, oh yeah, like we're in town, like we're gonna meet up at this friend's house. And we all just met up Sunday night, just had a good time. Like just, maybe drink some wine, just kind of like hang out. To me, I love that because it feels like college again, when you can, it's a random Tuesday night and everybody just going to, such and such's house. Like that is something that I feel like I really need in my life right now. And it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good when I get to spend time with my friends, whether we go to lunch or we say, okay, we're going to go to this festival, we go to brunch. So I can definitely resonate when she says, like, wipe the dust off that board game. Because we do play games, but like, wipe the dust off the board game, put the phone down, read a book, catch up with an old friend. Definitely understand that. It's so easy to get caught up in your day to day and like wanting more. Like, I think that that's why I have a hard time with social media, is because it makes you want more. And I'm not saying that's always a bad thing, but it's also a good thing sometimes to sit where you are, sit in it and be grateful, because at some point in time in your life you was hoping for it to be where you are right now. You were dreaming about that. You literally prayed every day, like, okay, if I could just get this, if I could just get this job, or if I could make this amount of money, if I could just get this car, like, Lord, I want more, put me in a position for this. And if you don't pray, I don't know, maybe you manifested it, but still, at one point, you wanted what you have now, and then you get it, and it's never enough. It's an ending cycle because you get on Instagram and saw that Joe posted he just bought a house, but you just moved into your high-rise apartment. that you always wanted. You always wanted it. Or you get this new car, but then you get on Facebook and you see that cousin Ann bought a blacked out Escalade. Now you like, dang, I love my car, but like look at her car. No, don't look at her car. You don't know what she has going on. You don't know how Joe got that house. You don't know where it is. You might see he bought this big house, but what you don't see is across the street, it looks a mess. It's literally in a neighborhood you wouldn't even want to live in. You don't, all of that is an altered reality. You can't, and I know so many people struggle with this because I mean, even sometimes it's just like, okay, well, me, I'm looking, I'm just like, oh wow, like that's really nice for them. Or, oh, I would never forget when we bought a house. House was brand new. Bought a brand new house, and I was looking on Instagram and seeing how people were decorating their homes and stuff. And I was like, man, I wish I wish we had a waiting guy like something like this. Or I wish that the living room looked like that. Or I wish the fireplace looked like that. Or I wish this, and instead of just saying like, okay, you can fix that, you can, this house that you just bought, be grateful that you just bought it, and you can fix whatever's in that house. Like you can change it and alter it to what you want it to be. You don't have to get a new house to do that. Like I was so caught up in what I thought that I needed and wanted. I couldn't even be grateful for where I was. All in all, just to get off my soapbox with that because I really can like go deep into it. Um, give yourself grace. You have to give yourself grace because life is not a sprint, it is a marathon. You will get there. The timing is okay. You are doing okay. Look around. And I don't mean look around at like on social media, because that's where we got to get away from. But look around at like how far you've come. And if you feel like you haven't, like you've been stagnant for some time, yeah, it probably is time for you to get up and do something. Maybe you need an extra push with social media, but don't compete. When you're looking at people on social media, you cannot compete with them because they're not even competing with themselves. I would just say in closing that social media is not the bad guy. I don't want this to come off like it is. It's about what you make of it. You can't put other people's expectations on you. You have to be in your own lane. You have your own race, your own life, at your own speed. And what God has in store for you is way better than anything that you can ever imagine.